Come at me, bro. Come at me with your start button.
All right. So we may be live. We're going to wait for a confirmation because we had more issues as usual. I tried something new, got fancy, didn't have a chance to check it out. So as soon as Mike gives me the heads up, we'll be ready to start the show.
Heads down.
I'm sorry, did you say as soon as Mike gives you head? What?
Yeah, as soon as he gives me head. Yeah, I get head for his birthday. It's just how it works.
There you go. Nice.
So-
Nothing yet. Hopefully it's, in the middle of preparing all the streamy goodness, but...
It says it's live. It says we've been going for 34 seconds.
Well, my Apple device isn't bringing anything up. Let me just pull up YouTube. YouTubeovich.
Mm-hmm.
It's showing us, dude.
Oh, you see us?
Yeah, I get head for his. Yep. Yeah, okay, so we're live. Thanks, Mike. Way to be on the ball. So anyway.
Wait for it.
So here we are, folks. The MythWits are finally good to go. This live thing is a bit of a challenge at times. So anyway, it is Monday, the 14th, and this is episode, what are we on? Is this 14, 15? 14, right? 15?
15, I believe.
15, yes. Episode 15. This
Charlie
show...
Chan, Charlie Sue.
Charlie Chan,
Charlie
Jimmy Chong, Johnny Wong. So this show is not safe for work. So if you are offended by bad words, please turn it off now. Happy Passover, everybody. Do you say happy Passover?
Is it safe?
What?
Is it safe for Passover or is it safe for birthdays? What?
Yeah, I think it's safe for Passover and for birthdays.
Mm.
All right, so I'm going to run the show opener, and so you all just be quiet for a few seconds, and first I'm going to do this. Mike is muted, and here we go.
It's the MythWits, a geek pop culture web series, broadcast live for video and audio podcasts. Watch us live at mythwits.com and find us on YouTube and iTunes, bringing you news and reviews about geek pop culture. We have comedy skits, play nerd-tastic games, and provide extensive on-location con coverage. And now, your hosts.
Hello, and welcome to the MythWits. I'm your host, Peter Bryant, and tonight I am joined by my panel of elite and illustrious hosts. Illustrious, that's the word I'm looking for. Our video programmer and game master, Michael Kafis.
Happy birthday to me. Happy. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Our news anchor, Brian Olvera.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, do you have any dong news for us tonight?
Oh fuck, dude, don't get me started with that. I refuse to. Dude, even
Okay, you don't have to do the dong news.
dude, even I find that shit creepy.
It's creepy.
I'm not even going to ask.
Hey,
No,
speaking
don't.
of creepy,
Donkey dick, boy, I'll tell you.
speaking of creepy or just plain mad, our resident mad scientist, who I hope to make regular appearances from time to time to talk with us about our science correspondent, John Monahan.
Hey, guys.
Hey, John,
Happy
welcome.
to be here.
Welcome to the show. Now,
Thank you.
John is okay. So I know John for several years now. I met him in a science writing class. So John knows something about science. He happens to teach it, and happens to be on a little show, little tiny show. Maybe heard of it. Is it Rodricks? Dan? Is it Dan?
It's Midday with Dan Rodricks.
Dan Rodricks. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't say it wrong. Okay, yeah. Midday with Dan Rodricks on a little NPR thing. You know, it's something small. Nothing.
NPR, what is that, like niche public radio?
Yeah, that's it, pretty much.
Not for the public.
Small town radio show?
No. But in all seriousness, no, John, was it once a month, John?
Yeah, I'm on once a month, the second Monday of every month. We do like an hour-long science segment where we talk about like science in the news and what's going on. So,
Right. So, I thought John would be a great guest to come on and talk some science. Plus, happens to have a little book called "They Called Me Mad," and we'll get into all that in just a few minminutes. John, you also
Actually, I can have one question because while we have John on,
you want to jump in here and just want to?
Yeah, I have a science related question for you.
Go for it.
I happen to have here. This was this was full of soda. Okay.
Right.
It was Sierra Mist. I poured it in here.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Get up on the mic.
Yes. Okay. Well, I filled it up here. Okay, and I shut it. And,
Right.
I was trying to do an experiment where I was going to shake it up and let it sit and let the bubbles, reconstitutionalize, in themselves back into the liquid. And
Right.
So, it sat, I swear to you, for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was as calm and as beautiful as a baby's bottom, all right? And as Brian is my witness, I just happened to say, all right, hey, this was right before I invited you. I said, I'm going to invite Brian, or invite John. I said, I took the top off of this, okay?
Right.
And then I literally, it was sitting there. The top was off of it, okay?
Uh-huh.
And then I give it one squeeze, and the thing exploded all over. And I am really sticky right now.
Yeah, it was like it was like one of his bad dates.
So basically, what you didn't see was that while your back was turned, Pete dropped a Mentos in there and just off it went.
Bastard!
Was it just like one of those?
That's great. In science, the basic rule is when in doubt, blame somebody else. So I'm gonna lay it on Pete.
Okay, so experimental error, maybe, perhaps little experimental bias.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard about this before though. This is like that whole thing where the surface, everything is like the I forgot what it's called, but every bubble is somehow under the pressure, and then
Right.
it's just one little tweak.
Right. It's kind of like in order for
Takes
the
it out
bubbles.
of,
In order for the bubbles to form, they need sort of a little bit or a little grain of something. It's like if you pour champagne into a glass, you get little bubbles. But if the glass that they make that out of is like too pure or too smooth, the bubbles don't form.
Right. So if your glass is too perfect, you won't get bubbles because it needs the impurities to form.
So
Right.
It just spastically went like postal on me. It wasn't. I didn't appreciate that, Pete.
It was
messed up.
There's your birthday present.
it was kind of like everything was great till I touched the taint and it went off in my eye, And then it was happy birthday to me. I feel so dirty.
We'll just chalk it up to the will of God and leave it at that.
There you go. Hey. All right. So John, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about your radio appearances, your book, or your Mad for Science blog?
I don't know, just kind of as background, folks should know I've been a teacher for about 15 years now. I've taught science in both high school and middle school, and that kind of leads into the book because my goal in writing it was basically to write something that my students would actually want to read. So, that they've got this idea, from the textbooks that science is boring and that scientists are just a bunch of dead white guys that wrote down these facts 100 years ago.
Well,
and they don't really have any idea about scientists being real people passionate about what they do, and that's why I wrote the book.
Right. So that gives kids a chance to like make a connection and do something fun and not just like, oh God, here we go to science class. I hate science class. It's hey, science class is awesome.
What's been the response of your students and other kids that you've interacted with that have had a chance to look at the book?
Actually, I've had a couple of my students have read the book, and they've really enjoyed it because what I did for the basic premise is I've got some of the great scientists of the ages who have made great discoveries and were so far ahead of their time that they were sort of either ostracized or laughed at or considered mad. And most of the book is not so much going into the specifics of the science they did, but more their story, why they got into it, how they got interested in science. So it's kind of the story behind the science. And folks have responded really well to it.
That's cool. Okay, so let's go into the book then. What scientists do you feature? So I know the cover's got Einstein, it's got Tesla on it. So
right. Those are two of my favorites.
Okay, great. So let's start with Einstein. What makes Einstein, mad, or like perceived as mad? Like what qualities about him qualified him to be a mad scientist?
Well, I think certainly the hair helped, but he himself, he was actually maybe the sanest person in the entire book, but because he came along at a time when newspapers were just starting to put big photographs in their issues and the public was really getting its first pictures of scientists, he sort of occupied this space in the public's mind of this is what a scientist looks like. And it still goes on today. If I ask one of my students to tell me what a scientist looks like, they either pick, well, he looks sort of like Einstein, or actually he looks like you, Mr. Monahan. So that's the two responses I get.
With a lab coat, of course, right?
With a lab coat,
because a lab coat makes your science. Every commercial I ever see where they go to a scientist or a doctor or something, they have a lab coat on, even though they're like in their office.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because that's where you'd wear a lab coat.
Like, we wear them all the time, really.
It's like a nightgown. They wear it when they go to bed and hang out with the wife.
Oh, I would like to get that, like a
Or like you'll see a scientist, biologist, or whatever, and they'll show like bubbling glassware in the back of their lab.
Right.
That'd be cool to get like an Albert Einstein wig.
What, for like Halloween or something, or for
there you
cosplay or something?
Yeah, Pete, cosplay.
Yeah, he goes Einstein. That'd be badass.
My Einstein wig and my soda play.
Now watch
there you
this.
Go, you got it.
This soda is relative.
This is relatively funny.
All right, so it's now I know the book is mainly about perception. So the reason why they it's like they called me mad, not that they were mad, but they were called mad. And the big perception is that
a few of them might have actually been mad, which is kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. I understand it, but I mean, whether they were mad or not, they were perceived as mad. And you're saying Einstein was pretty sane, as it were. I mean, there's some hints to him being maybe a little autistic or something because he had the whole 7 suits and but I don't even know how true that is. Is that even true?
I'm convinced that really most of the folks in my book, and I start with like Archimedes and go all the way up to scientists in the 60s and 70s, most of them nowadays would have been medicated, either because they were on the autism spectrum, or they were dyslexic, or they had obsessive-compulsive disorders, or something. And actually, one of the things that I think after doing the research is it was actually those, what I'm going to call brain differences that kind of allowed them to achieve what they did in science, because there's a great quote that great science, is the art of looking at the same thing that everybody else is looking at and seeing something different.
Ah, yes. Yeah,
and that's what they did. They looked at it in a slightly different way, from a slightly different angle, and they were able to make great discoveries and come up with entirely new views of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so right, I agree. I totally agree. I mean, it's like the reason why they were able to discover or make a discovery was because no one else could see it that way. If they had seen it that way, they would have made the discovery.
Right.
So obviously they're seeing it differently.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's also what's going on at the time, because there's one of the things I do know about science is that most of your scientists do not work in a vacuum. This idea of this lonely scientist in a basement who's discovered something new. I mean, there were people already working on the same things that Einstein was working on. He was the one that made the big connection first. Right.
And so it's very common for two different scientists working independently to come up with the same idea at about the same time. You can go back to Newton coming up with calculus, and other folks came up with calculus too. There were other discoveries, again, that were made at about the same time. Marconi and Tesla both doing radio at around the same time. So it's fairly common.
But that doesn't that make sense? Because one of the reasons why they came up with those ideas is because other ideas that were popular at the time being presented, the atmosphere was right. It was ripe for that. In other words, well, they discovered this. And I've come to this conclusion because of these other discoveries that have been made recently, and the way people are thinking, and the need at the time. So, it's they needed this piece of math or piece of science to move ahead on something, and in that process, they're like, oh, check this out, and like a lot of people are doing that.
We have kind of this image that this sort of hits the scientists like a bolt out of the blue, and they come up with this, incredible stuff. But you have to realize that it's based on the discoveries and the work of other scientists, and other people have access to that stuff too. So it's logical that more than one person would come up with stuff around the same period.
Right.
I do have to disagree with you on one thing, Pete, and that is that Edison sort of did work in a vacuum. That's
how I get what you did. The tube with the nice, good one, yeah.
And John, who do you think would win in got
to.
Who do you think would win in a cage match between Edison and Tesla? Just to the death. They're both men in their prime.
Well, I think in terms of mastering electricity, I think Tesla's got it. On the other hand, Edison has the sneaky bastard factor going for him, so it'd probably be a pretty bloody match, I would think.
Hey, if you've been watching Game of Thrones, a sneaky fucking bastard wins every time.
Yeah. Tesla had the reach on him, though. He was about 6'6". So,
Hey, but we're not doing spoilers on Game of Thrones, right? Anybody watching this with me? Anybody else?
Nah, yeah, I'm behind on Game of Thrones.
All right, good. Then I'm not tempted to give spoilers. Oh, so good last night.
I've been watching Cosmos, so I have no idea what's going on in Game of Thrones.
All right, I keep asking all of our guests, John, where can I go and see any of the Cosmoses that I missed?
Oh, actually, you can go. Cosmos? Yeah, they have a web page. You can go on the Cosmos web page, and they have all of the episodes up there, so you can watch them anytime you like.
Oh, shit.
The other thing is, if you've got cable, a lot of them are on demand.
Yeah, you know what though?
They're all up there.
So on demand, just a little heads up. So I started watching one of the episodes, or I started watching the first episode. I was going to try and squeeze in a couple. And
right.
So I got mostly through the first one, but I had my daughter was not having it. So she's only 5. So I mean, she liked the pretty pictures of the planets, but after a little while, she was kind of like, she wanted to watch My Little Pony or something. So I go back a couple days later, and the on-demand doesn't remember where I'm at, right? And it won't let me fast forward because I guess part of their deal is, oh, no, you're not going to skip through the commercials.
Right.
Maybe if you had DVR'd it, you could slip through the commercials, but not on on-demand. No, sir. So I was like, oh, I got to watch the whole – I mean, not that I mind watching the whole episode again, but it's just kind of like –
See, now I was watching one –
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, I was watching one on demand actually a little bit earlier today, and okay, I can understand they put a commercial in there. I understand they got to pay the bills. Okay, that's cool. So they put commercials in there, except it's the same fucking commercial. It's like this Pizza Hut commercial that they ran at every commercial break. The exact same commercial every last time.
Right.
That I don't get.
Yeah, it's like, dude, you're killing me with the same commercial over and over again.
That's why I couldn't take Hulu. I could not even. I mean, it was the cheaper of them all, but forget it.
So wait a minute. Hey, we're running all over. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Did you want to ask anything? Because Mike and I are kind of running over you.
Actually, I wanted to kind of chime in on the whole on the Tesla Edison death match thing, because I mean,
it's a great image.
It is a great image, and it's been drawn God knows how many times. I'm the poor sucker who actually looks up Tesla versus Edison. Yeah, and oh man,
I've got the T-shirt.
Exactly. I mean, it's on a T-shirt. I mean, just 2 words: Tesla coil. Come on.
Right.
Just smuggle one into the arena. Just flips a switch.
Zap. Yeah, that's
the
it.
Tesla coil, the actual arena. All the outside of the arena.
There's it actually forms the ropes. It's actually.
Oh, it could be a Faraday cage with varying pieces.
That'll be the cage right there. Faraday cage.
That'll
be a
cage match.
Yeah, pieces of metal and non-metal. All in between. So they really need to be sneaky about it. All right. So
what is that game? So it wasn't Tekken. It was another, or was it? No. Oh, it was one of the fighting games where he had something like that, where like if you knocked the guy against the wall, he got shocked. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It wasn't Tekken. It was another.
Yeah.
One. But anyway, go ahead.
Teslin. No, I'm sorry, that was
Teslin.
All right. So John, I'm actually kind of monitoring the room a little bit, and so one of our loyal listeners. Okay, our loyal listener David, who was actually in our movie
Let's hear it
draft.
for him.
Yes, shout out to Big Dave. He actually, I asked if he had any questions, so he actually has two. One is he really does want to know the lowdown between Tesla and Edison. So, I mean, I know that there is a lot of unanswered questions, but what can you tell us, based on your research and what you've been able to discern? Like, where is the truth and the fiction and the...
Okay. Well, the basic truth is that they really, really did hate each other. And that went back to, like, shortly after Tesla came over to this country, he actually worked for Edison. Edison had an electric company, and he was running DC current, and he wanted Tesla to come up with some sort of, transformer for him. And he basically made Tesla an offer, if you do this for me, I will pay you $20,000. And again, this is $20,000 like in the early 1900s, so this is a substantial amount of money. Right. And Tesla did. He went off and he worked for weeks and he finally came up with the thing. And Tesla's like, oh, you thought I was being serious. Oh, no. So basically, Edison screwed Tesla out of the 20 grand. And after that, they just hated each other. Later on, when Edison kind of had a monopoly at that time on DC current, he was providing electricity for all of New York City with DC, and Tesla has his ideas about using AC, and so the two of them went head to head on that in what's been kind of characterized as the War of the Currents. So that there was a lot of animosity between the two of them.
Well, much like Betamax versus VHS, I think we see who won that fight.
Well, hey, just recently,
actually, it
Blu-ray
was
and HDD.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of like if in the course of that war they had actually used like Betamax tapes to strangle somebody with. I mean, during the course of this war for the current, Edison was trying to put out the idea that AC was a lot more dangerous. So what he would do is pay neighborhood kids to go out and basically collect dogs and cats, strays. Then he would take these stray animals, call in the press, and electrocute them with AC power to show how dangerous it was.
Oh, what a dick!
Dad, I think
this kind of worked.
I was going to say, I think if Michael
he sort of went.
It would have been a problem if that was Michael Vick. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He wasn't happy with dogs and cats. He sort of worked his way up to near the end of this whole battle. He actually electrocuted for the press an elephant.
Jeez.
In front of all the reporters and stuff. They hooked this thing up and zapped it, and over it fell, and that was it.
Of course.
Wait, was this Tesla or was this Edison? This was Tesla.
This was Edison. Edison did
God.
this as a way of kind of showing how dangerous that the AC power was.
And
weird.
So remember that line about sneaky bastard I was talking about earlier?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say when the war.
So a little bit more vicious than the whole Betamax VCR thing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when the Tesla Edison war ended, were Chinese restaurants upset?
Oh,
they lost their supply. What?
That was over the line.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Well,
no. You meant
what's odd is
over the Rhine.
Tesla won the Tesla won the war. So the prize essentially was to be able to use Niagara Falls to harness the power of Niagara Falls to generate electricity. So right. Tesla's the one who did that. You can go up to Niagara Falls now and see like all the old turbines and stuff that he actually designed and had built.
Wow. Cool. So was he mad? Was Tesla crazy?
He electrocuted animals, Pete. What the fuck?
No, that was
Edison.
Edison.
Come on, check your scorecard, man.
Yeah. No. Tesla, okay, it depends kind of on your definition of mad. He certainly had mental disorders. He was, almost definitely obsessive compulsive. He had a number of very odd phobias and stuff. Towards the end of his life, he was like, talking to pigeons and doing all kinds of other erratic stuff. But in terms of actually completely, like the cartoon of somebody who's insane, no, I think he was a lot saner than that. But again, he had these, shall we say, brain differences that allowed him to see some other stuff.
He had a few quirks.
he had some issues. Yeah.
All right, so who else stands out? Those are the big two. Everybody knows about those. Give me somebody who like we've heard of, but maybe we didn't know he was nutty.
Okay. Well, I did I started with Archimedes, and another great scientist who I did in a similar period was Hypatia of Alexandria.
Oh yeah,
she's one of two women who are in the book, and she was actually very sane, not really meeting the paradigm or the image of a mad scientist. She was this beautiful, brilliant woman, but she was kind of chased down and killed by an angry mob, so that sort of cemented her in the Mad Scientist Hall of Fame.
Right. So have you seen the movie Agora?
I haven't actually. It's on my Netflix queue, but haven't seen it.
Okay. Because I'll have to ask you next time you come on, because there's a movie called Agora, which is about Hypatia.
I'm familiar with that.
And I did a little bit of reading. I got a little information on her because I read the book, The Rise and Fall of Alexandria, and then she comes up in the end of the book. But I was just wondering, the movie portrayed a lot more about her because it was basically about her.
Right.
And of course it was dramatized. They dramatized it, obviously. But there were some people who were saying that movie was egregiously false, and the internet arguments, and some people saying, "Oh no, it was great," and some people saying, "Oh, it sucked, it was terrible." So, being that you wrote about her, I'm sure you did more research than I did. More than just the rise and fall of Alexandria.
Part of the problem is that we don't have any of her actual writings, because after she was killed by actually a Christian mob, the church went and fairly methodically burned all of her writings. Okay. So we don't have her actual view on these events and what was going on. So it's sort of a one-sided view, and we have to kind of draw inferences from what we can find.
Okay. Well, if you see the movie, it's a good movie. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. If you see it, let me know. And let me know what you think, because I'm kind of interested in getting somebody else's perspective on it. Somebody who, I can trust has maybe done a little reading on the subject, and not just some internet, person that I have no clue who they are. Right.
Well, one of the other scientists who was one of my favorites in doing the research was a fellow named Joseph Priestley, who was around in the 1700s. And he was actually a teacher, and he sort of got into science because he wanted to write a book about science of the day. They were doing a lot of stuff with electricity, and so he happened to meet this guy named Benjamin Franklin. They kind of sat down at a coffee house, and Franklin sort of got Priestley, and Benjamin Franklin and his buddies sort of got Priestley into doing his own experiments, and from there he sort of took off and became a great scientist in his own right. He's actually the guy who discovered oxygen, among other things, so he made a lot of significant contributions.
Oh, good, and then we could all breathe. Awesome.
Right, exactly. So I didn't invent it. He discovered oxygen, right? He discovered this gas that he made in his laboratory. He took, some mercury compounds and a couple of other things and exposed them to high heat, and they produced these gases. And he noticed that when he exposed mice and things like that to these gases, they didn't die like he expected them to. He expected it to be like carbon dioxide, and they would just keel over and die.
Right.
No, he put them in this gas, and not only did they survive, but they actually thrived. So Priestley, at this point, did, of course, what any reasonable mad scientist would do. He tried the stuff on himself.
Right.
So he was the first one to take a couple of hits of pure oxygen and decide, hey, this is good stuff.
He knew he was onto something when the two mice were talking to each other. One's going, "Hey man, this cheese is really good. You want some cheese? I like this cheese. This cheese is badass. Hey, let's get some cheese. Hey buddy, you want some cheese? I got some cheese over in the corner. Hey, I buried some cheese over the thing. I was running on the wheel. I got some cheese."
Right. Right. So I go a lot into Joseph Priestley. He was an interesting guy. He was not only fairly radical in terms of his scientific views, but he was also politically very, very radical at the time. Again, he was hanging out with folks like Franklin. He was a good friend of Jefferson later on in life. So he was a pretty radical guy. And he was so radical, in fact, that he was actually run out of England literally by a torch-wielding mob.
Oh, God. Pitchforks and torches.
That's why he came to this country, is because they kicked him out of England. So
you've got to be
interesting guy.
What happens.
Yeah.
Hey, I will also recommend, and let me ask you, John, have you ever heard of an author by the name of David Bodanis?
No, can't say I'm familiar with him.
Danis. And I'll just put this out there. I listened to this guy's book on Audible. He wrote a book called Electric Universe, The Shocking True Story of Electricity. And
nice.
As you were saying this, some of this stuff was coming back to me, and it really goes way back into the day, and some of the very rudimentary observations and scientists, and even I guess even people back in the Greek before they really had electricity, that they were theorizing about these things, and brings it all the way to modern day. And I mean, it goes all the way through Tesla
electricity
and all this stuff. So it's really good.
They did know about electricity in the ancient world. In fact, they figured out at some point that if you take a piece of amber and sort of rub it back and forth over some sort of wool or fur or something like that, it'll generate a static electric charge. Well, the word electron and electricity is derived from the Greek word for amber. That's where we get the word from.
Cool.
So again, they know about this stuff way, way back, but until the 1700s, late 1600s, 1700s, where Franklin and a bunch of other folks were doing experiments with it, it really didn't become popularized, and it wasn't really harnessed as much as it could have been.
So it's kind of, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's kind of how I see where we are with gravity right now. We can observe it, we can measure it, we can see what it does to things, but what is it?
If you're the proprietor of a gravitational field, it's illegal for them to pull on you.
No, it's more like back in the ancient world, there's a guy named Hero of Alexandria, and he invented this nifty thing that was, for all intents and purposes, a steam engine. Only it was a toy. He didn't see any practical use. It was just kind of this entertaining thing that he would, pull out when the royals and whoever came over to visit. He would pull this thing out and show it off for him. But he saw absolutely no practical use for the thing at all.
Right. Yeah,
so I would recommend this book, but to read more on this. But
I'll have to check that out.
I found it fascinating. Yeah. So
Right,
it's
so,
called
hey-
Electric Universe.
Hey, real quick, let's go back to the chat room because we David had one more question.
Yeah.
He says, actually, let's see. He has a dispute between him and his wife. She called it a pink moon, and he called it a blood moon. Are they both right?
Okay. My understanding is that it's called the blood moon because when the shadow of the Earth passes in front of the moon as part of the lunar eclipse, it does sort of give it a reddish cast. If somebody wants to call it a pink moon, hey, I'm not going to argue with them. I just, I've heard the term blood moon. That's all I know about the terminology. But
Sounds to me like you're saying David's right by calling it a blood moon. Sounds more like he's right. So, okay, David, there you go. Tell your
David,
wife.
your wife is wrong because you're
A scientist, a real scientist guy said that.
right because you're one of our friends and
actually, if folks are curious, during the eclipse later tonight, I think it's going to be around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, NASA is going to be running a live chat so folks can write in with questions and things. So if you go to nasa.gov, you can get in on that.
rock on. Hey, I did the Mars that oh man, I keep forgetting the name of it. The latest Mars rover, the one that they just
Curiosity?
set down. Curiosity, yes.
Right.
I watched that live, and it was like, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, like 3 o'clock in the morning or something goofy like that.
Right.
Totally worth being wasted at work the next day, tired. Totally worth it. Because
So
watching it,
have you seen the bright light photos that folks are claiming are evidence of intelligent life on Mars?
I don't know.
latest thing.
They'll grasp at anything. I don't know. A rock fell out of
This
the
is
wheel.
funny. Right. What they've got is there are these pictures that they got like from 2 frames off the Curiosity rover, and if you look on the horizon, it shows this bright flash of light. But what's bizarre about it is that Curiosity's actually got a stereoscopic camera. It's got 2 cameras, and they've only got this image on the right camera, not on the left. So imagine if you were looking something with a pair of binoculars, and you could only see something with the right lens but not the left. Me, I'd think, hey, time to get a new pair of binoculars. But that's probably what's going on with Curiosity, is there's something wrong with that one camera.
Right.
No, there's life, duh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Explanation.
That's the most logical explanation.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree. All right. So they call me mad. Is there anything else you want to say about that before we move on? Because it sounds like a super interesting book, and I feel bad because I haven't read it yet. I've known about this thing. How long has it been out? Like 2-3 years now?
Let's see. I think it came out like right at the very end of 2010, so it's been out for about 3 or 4 years now.
God, 3 or 4 years.
It covers a bunch of different scientists, again, going from Archimedes up to Werner von Braun, and it talks about them and their different fields. It's sort of divided up with different fields like chemistry and physics, and there's some stuff on rocketry, and it's got a lot of great characters in there and a lot of really compelling stories. So, run out. It's at major bookstores. It's on Amazon. You can get one for the Nook, whatever, but get out there. It's fun stuff.
Any chance it's on an audiobook?
Not yet. Not at the moment. Not that I've heard of, so...
Is that something you would like to do? Or...
I would love to do that.
That's up to your publisher, right?
I think it would be pretty good, yeah.
I mean, is that something...
The publisher hasn't expressed any interest in it, so...
Do you have audio rights, or is that something that you worked out, or is that... You have to work out on the next book?
That's one of those deals that I have to get back to my agent, who actually, I didn't have an agent when I signed the contract on the first book, so now I'm working on the next book. I got an agent. Hopefully things will be a little bit better and smoother.
Well, hey, while we're talking about that, what's the next book?
Okay, the next book I'm writing is I'm doing a lot of fun stuff, doing research on Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace. Now, for I know you guys know about them, but for folks at home that might not be familiar with the two of them, they tried to create a mechanical computer. No electricity. This was a mechanical computer back in the 1840s. And they had all these great designs. Ada Lovelace was one of the first computer programmers. She was writing programs for this thing. And they might have actually been able to do it, but their government funding got cut. So they never got a chance to actually build it. So around 1992, the London Museum decided, well, what the hell? It's going to be, Charles Babbage's 200th birthday. Let's, take his plans. Let's build this thing. And they did. They built a model of this thing, full-scale model of the what they call the analytical engine, or the difference engine, excuse me, from his plans.
Okay, I was going to say difference. Right.
From his plans, using the types of materials and manufacturing processes that he would have had available to him, and they built this thing, they cranked it up, and it worked like a charm.
Wow. That's cool.
So I'm having a lot of fun with the research on that one. And again, Ada Lovelace was the only legitimate daughter of Lord Byron, so there's all kinds of Byron and sex and drug addiction and gambling, all kinds of fun stuff.
Well, that's perfect, because I was going to say Ada Lovelace. She sounds like a porn star.
Yeah. She was an interesting person.
I'll bet she was.
Yeah.
I bet she'd like one of those toys that Jonathan was going to send you, Mike. Mike, hello?
What was that one movie, Hysteria, that came out about the early invention of the vibrators? Is that what you're alluding to?
A friend of ours found a place that will sell like dog, horse, and whale dildos to scale.
Oh, okay.
And I seem to be obsessed with this. I have no reason. I have no idea why. I just think it's funny.
Here's your deeply twisted science fact of the day. When they first developed vibrators, it was back during the Victorian era, and some of the first ones were steam powered.
Talk about getting a woman hot. Jesus Christ.
Wait a minute. My computer is doing that wacky thing when it gets overheated, and we have a difference engine, and then we're at Donkey Dicks. What's going on?
Pretty much. Yeah, we've made that great leap.
We leapt from that.
It's all technology.
That's why you weren't saying anything. You literally were frozen in place. Okay.
Yes. And I was trying to get up the maybe I shouldn't say get up. I was trying to do a screen share. I was going to say, Pete, if you wanted to show a picture of the difference engine, you could.
Right, there it is. Actually, right up there. That's a full-scale model of the thing. It's about 7 or 8 feet tall, weighs roughly 12 to 15 tons. It's made out of brass and cast iron, and it actually works.
And what does it do exactly? What can you do with it?
Basically, this one will do all kinds of calculations. Now, Babbage, he had the difference engine, which was kind of his first one. It was sort of, taking calculators to the next step. So full scale, kind of like the equivalent of a scientific calculator back in the day. The next one that he was working on was what he called the analytical engine. And that one was really, really meets all the criteria for being an actual computer. I mean, down to the point where it had a memory and sort of a dual processor, and it had all these kind of things. It even had a printer that he designed. So it's pretty amazing.
Wasn't it, was it 4-bit or 2-bit or 4-bit that it could do. I don't even think it could do full 8-bit, right?
Right. That I'm not familiar with. But again, it could do all kinds of different things. And Lovelace, her contribution is, Babbage was kind of the technical guy on building it, but her contribution was to see all the applications this thing could do. Like she figured out if this thing can put together patterns of numbers, why not other sorts of patterns? Why not musical notes? Could it be used to compose things? Could the workings of this, calculating engine be used to study how we do calculations in our own brain? So she was kind of, just sort of creeping into the first inklings of artificial intelligence. So amazing stuff.
So hold on. Let's bring this around to something relevant. It's
back to vibrators.
It's almost April 15th. Could I do my taxes on this thing?
You probably could. I'm sure, if you had your difference engine, it might take a while. And again, it could print it up. It had a printer. You'd be all set.
So,
Smithers, crank up the difference engine.
Could I calculate a restaurant tip on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Even the 20%?
You could do. Oh, yeah, you do. Hey, even 6% Maryland sales tax you could do on this thing. It's amazing.
Can it do pi to like 8 or 9 digits?
Actually, when Babbage was working on it, he had designed a system where it could do numbers down to 25 digits. And there was potential for a more advanced model to do 50. So this was really fairly significant and could do some fairly sophisticated calculations. This was, not just a calculator.
Oh, that is some steampunk-looking shit. I'll tell you that right now.
All right, real quick. Okay, so this is important. So you guys may notice that Adrian is not on this show. He was running a little late tonight. I think he's just going to sit this one out. But he is in the chat room, and he asks, do you believe in aliens, and do you believe I'm an alien? Well, Adrian, to answer one of your questions, I don't know what John thinks, but you are definitely an alien. Totally.
And I don't believe in aliens, but I believe he's an alien.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Okay. I don't know
eating.
aliens, so I'm not going to chime in on that. My own views on aliens is, I think that the odds are definitely in favor of there being life in the universe. I mean, just, if you talk about the Milky Way galaxy with 300 billion stars, the odds are pretty good that at least a couple of them are going to have life. Whether or not it's intelligent life, that's up for debate. But I'm sure there's life out there.
Yeah, I think there's a misunderstanding here. He meant like an illegal alien.
He's definitely an illegal alien. Roll his ass back across the border.
I see.
No, in seriousness though, that's a difficult question because like when people ask that, it's like, wait a minute, wait. What are you really asking? Are you asking me, do I think aliens have come to Earth? Do I think they're intelligent aliens? Do you mean just life? Do you mean right now at the same time that we are? It's a very multi-part question because I think it's not just that question. It's what they mean by it.
Right, so there's the inferences behind the question that you've got to deal with. So, again, taking it one step at a time. Do I think there's life out there? Oh, definitely. At this point, as far as we know, all you need is liquid water, and you're going to have some sort of life. That's what we found everywhere here on Earth. So I think the odds are very good that there's life out there. Next step is there intelligent life. Well, that's a lot more dicey because really we only have one bona fide, verifiable example of that is the one here on Earth. And even that's a little questionable if you spend too much time down in D.C.
Or on Facebook.
Right, exactly. So, that's kind of our only example. So the whole definition of what is and isn't intelligent is a little fuzzy. The other thing is, and you kind of alluded to this, if there's intelligent life, is it intelligent life that's existing at the same time as our intelligent life? There might have been intelligent life a million years ago. There might be intelligent life a million years in the future, and we would just kind of miss each other, like travelers in the night.
Right. And don't forget, we talk about the universe, but they're very, scientists, astronomers are very clear to point out it's observed universe.
Right.
We can't see all of the universe because it's spreading so fast. And I did catch this in the first episode of Cosmos. He did happen to mention this, but I've heard this before. I already knew this. But but if you've been watching the show, you would have caught this. But there's parts of the universe the light hasn't had a chance to get to us yet because it expanded out so quickly during the hyperinflation that we just may not have seen it yet.
Yeah, one interesting thing on this that I think does increase the odds of there being life out there is that we've recently been discovering a lot of planets out beyond our own solar system.
Right,
if you look back, during the 90s, they didn't know about these things until I think 1995 they discovered the first one of these things.
Yeah, that was big news.
And now the last figure I heard is that they've discovered about 1,700 at the last count, and they're still processing data.
Is that what they're calling themselves?
Exoplanets.
Yeah.
Those are planets out beyond our own solar system and other solar systems. And some of them are like, big gas giants, but they have found evidence of, smaller rocky planets, some of them even close to the size of Earth. So we're getting closer. And they've even discovered a couple that might be in what they kind of loosely refer to as the Goldilocks zone.
Right. Yeah.
The area around the star where you might have liquid water. So
not too far, not too close.
Not too hot, not too cold. Just right.
Not too much radiation.
Right.
And that's just for the life that we have. But if you're going to, again, talk about what other kind of even intelligent life could have developed in the next, 600,000 years, along with us developing here, is what other intelligent life could have developed in a different type of environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, if you're just looking in terms of life, there's actually a couple of other spots here in our own solar system where they're looking for signs. I mean, Mars gets the majority of the attention in the popular imagination, but there's actually a lot of evidence that Europa, which is one of the moons out there going around Jupiter, has liquid water. It's frozen on the surface, but underneath the surface ice, there's evidence of what may be entire oceans of liquid water. And if there's that much water, the odds are not too bad. They also discovered another moon, Enceladus, I believe. It's one of the ones going around Saturn that also they think might have a liquid water underneath the ice. So we're making new discoveries all the time.
If I got to put my nickel down, like if somebody said, all right, we're going to do a planetary life movie draft, planetary life draft, I'm going with Europa. That's where I'm putting my big money. I think that's if I had to put my nickel down, that's where I think we're going to find it.
Right, and NASA is planning a mission to Europa. It's going to be an unmanned mission, but what they're hoping is if they can land something on the surface, they won't have the technology to actually drill through all the ice, but they may be able to take samples of organic compounds that have spewed up from the liquid water because they get geysers. From cracks in the ice that bring water from the subsurface ocean up to the surface, so that they're trying to look for life signs there.
Let me get this straight. You clowns, you rodeo clowns are talking like you think that there is water and intelligent life in Europe? Have you seen it?
Yeah, well, the water,
Europe?
Yeah.
What?
No, that's the Italian part of Europe. Europa.
Europa, that's right. It's all part of the EU, so you know what the hell.
Ain't nothing good come out of Europe since pizza and spaghetti.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Except just about everything. All right, okay, so let's talk about your blog real quick, because you got a Mad for Science blog.
Right, Mad for Science blog, and on there I kind of talk about science and culture and when the two kind of collide, sometimes head on. So I talk about the science that's in the news, latest discoveries that are being made. I talk about some of the debates that are going on in science and some of the controversies that are happening. So things like, are there intelligent life? I've talked about the vaccine controversy that you and I have talked about a lot. Yeah. I've talked about a lot of different issues that are going on. Some of them are fairly cutting-edge technology going on now. So my next post that I'm working on now will probably be about this claim that has come out of the Naval Research Center that they've got a means of extracting fuel from seawater. So it should be interesting to talk about.
So I saw that, and I haven't had a chance to really read up on that. I thought it was kind of interesting from what I saw, but of course it was just headline. Is this realistic? I mean, is this one of these things where they've been able to do it on an extremely small scale, on one type of experiment, and it's to be seen if they can scale it up or not?
Okay, I think a couple of things. One is that the evidence that they can scale it up is actually pretty solid. What they're doing is they're taking the seawater, they're extracting carbon dioxide and then breaking that down into the carbon and the oxygen, which they can do. They've got catalysts that'll do that.
Sure.
And they're also extracting hydrogen from the seawater, and then they're combining the carbon and the hydrogen to make hydrocarbons. Basically, they're making jet fuel out of this stuff.
Okay.
Now, they do require electricity and energy to put into the process, so we shouldn't look at this as a new energy source, but it is a good way of storing energy.
Okay.
So, for instance, if you've got a lot of electricity that you're producing, say, I don't know, a solar power plant, and you wonder, well, what are you going to do at nighttime? Well, during the daytime, you take the excess electricity, you use it to generate this fuel, and then you can burn that at night or on cloudy days. So I think we should look at it more in terms of an efficient energy storage system.
Very nice.
rather than
Okay,
an
yeah.
energy source.
I could see that. Yeah, okay, yeah, right. What do you do when the sun goes down? Well, we burn this stuff we made while the sun was up. We
Right,
made
and from
hay
that-
while the sun was shining.
Right, and from the Navy's point of view, it makes perfect sense for them because they've got to worry about not only getting the fuel but getting it out to the ships where they need it. If they're out at sea, and they have tested this technology at open sea conditions, and it does work. If they're out at sea and they can make their own fuel, that gives them an enormous tactical advantage too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because you're talking about what's your range? Everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
When do you have to come back to get fuel?
We don't.
we good.
Yeah.
Now that's pretty cool. That's pretty badass. All right, so let's talk about the Dan Rodricks show.
Okay, fun
All right.
stuff. I'm on there once a month. I always enjoy it. Sometimes we'll do shows about particular topics. Usually what I do is we go on and, again, talk about the science in the news. You know, what's hot, what's trending in terms of, what are the science headlines and kind of what's behind them. So I was on today, actually, and I was talking about a couple of the issues that we've talked about today. So talking a little bit about what NASA's doing, talking about the fuel from seawater thing.
Right. Now, does he get into any of the like vaccine issues and that kind of stuff as well?
Well, we haven't touched so much on the health-related issues because he also does a segment the first Monday of the month. He does a health segment with somebody I know you may know, John Smar. He does their monthly midday on medicine.
Yeah,
segment.
we'll
So
see him at
He
Balticon.
handles a lot of that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a good
Yeah,
guy.
so again, he's a great guy, and he does that, and then I handle sort of the non-medical related technology and science stuff.
I see. Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. He works in a biological center, doesn't he? He works,
Right. He's an infectious disease specialist.
That's right. Okay,
So-
that's right. We have to get him on
He's
the
the
show.
guy to talk to.
Yeah, we should get him on the show and talk some diseases and stuff.
Right.
Are you talking about the one that,
And he would qualify for the show because he has a beard. So
Yeah.
he's-
Then he can
he
join.
meets the basic
Absolutely.
requirements.
There you go. Mike.
What?
Oh, okay. I didn't hear you for a second.
No,
there.
I was going to say, who's this guy's name again?
John Smart. It's
Smart.
like C-M-A-R. is his last name.
A-R.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
We'll see him at Balticon. If you haven't met him yet, I'll introduce you.
Okay. Cool.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, check him out at the zombie panel. He does good stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'd be a good one for Zombie Panel. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, how did you wind up getting involved in NPR? It's NPR, right? It's
Right. It's
part of the
NPR.
network. Okay.
It's WYPR, which is the local Baltimore NPR station, public radio. And originally, what happened is I went on the Rodricks show when my book first came out. They interviewed me for the book, and it went really well. And about a month or two later, I get this email from them saying, listen, we want to do this show on science. Can you come in and do a segment for them? I'm like, okay. So I went in, did the segment, and went really well. And from there, it sort of developed into this regular Monday thing,
Cool.
regular monthly thing.
Excellent. That's awesome. So
And it's a call-in thing, so if folks have questions, they can call in and, post their questions either on Twitter or however they want to do it. We can talk about them.
So do you go down? I guess you go down to the studio, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. And how's that? Have you had any good stories about that? Anything interesting happen on the way to the studio or anything like that?
I've met some interesting folks in terms of I'm on the second hour, so a lot of times the folks who were on the first hour are coming out of the studio while I'm coming in. So I got to meet Brian May when he was in town, from Queen. I did get tickets to go see the Mythbusters when they were in town from the show, so that was pretty hip.
Sweet. Oh, that's how you went. Okay, that's right.
That's how I went. Yeah.
I was totally jealous. I was like, I didn't even hear they were coming. Are you kidding me? And I couldn't go.
Yeah.
I couldn't go.
Yeah, it's like I was sitting there and, I really wanted to go, but I knew there was no way I could afford it. And, they were going to be on a show on Friday. I wanted to go. And Thursday I get this email from the station saying, oh, by the way, we saved 2 tickets for you. I'm like,
Nice.
hello? All right.
So I bet your kid loved that, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I made big time daddy points with that.
Awesome.
We had a great time.
I would have given you big time points. I mean,
Hey.
He'd have let you be top,
Hey. But if you get a chance to see him live, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So I had a birthday present lined up for Mike, and it's a shame it didn't go through. I actually paid for it. I didn't get my money. I'm gonna have to send it to you later, but it's a real shame. But anyway, everybody, happy birthday to Mike.
Happy birthday,
Hey.
Wait a minute. Is this one of those dog dildos or something?
No, no. No, you'll see. You'll see. It'll eventually. I'm sure it'll come in, and when it does, I'll send it to you. I thought it'd be better on the show, and oh God, I really wanted it to be on the show, but I didn't notice it until too late, and it takes a little while for the person to make it. They're actually making this, so it takes them a little while for them to make it. But the guy said he could have it done in time, but I haven't gotten the email, and
it'll be your very own difference engine. It'll be fun, really.
Yeah. Oh, it's different.
I was just like, I don't know. What is this? Oh, did you get me a stripper, Pete? Oh, what?
No. Well, no.
Oh.
No.
Are you the stripper, Pete?
No, I'm not. It's better than that. It's
better than you as the stripper?
Damn it. Maybe I'll cut it into the show. I don't. Anyway, so. All right. So, is there anything? Hey, John, why don't we plug your stuff here? So, what's your website?
Okay. The website where you can read the blog is Mad for Science, and that's mad4science.wordpress.com.
Okay. And how often does that come out? How often do you do a blog for that?
Actually, I've been falling a bit behind, so my goal is to get out one a week, and I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it. So.
Okay. All right, and then we can catch you on the Dan Rodricks Show.
Dan Rodricks Show, absolutely. And again, you can follow me as Mad for Science on Twitter as well. So again, on Twitter, I go in and post a lot of the interesting science stories that are going on now.
Okay. And I'm going to put this on me real quick here. So if you look right down here, there is a link.
I don't see it.
Yeah, well, keep looking.
Not there.
There's a link to John's book.
Oh, there.
It's a good reads link, which take you can go to Amazon and buy it and see.
It's
the reviews
available
on
for
stuff.
Kindle and all different kinds of formats.
So buy John's book. He's actually a really good storyteller. That's why I brought him on, because again, I haven't read his book yet, but he's told me about it. I got to get off. You know what it is? You know what it is, John? I do most of my stuff audiobook, and being that it's not an audiobook, it's hard for me to get to it because having time to actually sit down and hold a book in front of me and read is very limited.
Hey, for the right price, I'll come read it to you. I mean, what the hell?
But hopefully you could get it in audiobook. That'd be badass if you get your, because I think sometimes you can have your rights returned to you if they don't use it by a certain time period.
If the publisher's not going to do it, see whether or not I can do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You got a bunch of people here. We'll read it for you.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
For free.
Hey, Brian likes doing voice work.
Yeah.
Brian has a voice.
Yeah.
You'd never know it. Brian.
Actually, I'm doing one for Mark Edwards. He was on last week. I'm going to be voicing his book for him.
Nice.
So
Nice. We'll get Scott Sigler to read the segment about Tesla. It'll be awesome.
Oh, that would be crazy awesome.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Oh yeah.
All right, so John, we're gonna do a game and and do the news. You gonna stick around with us? And
yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna let Mike take over this part of the show, and at some point we're actually going to have a transition video or something one of these days. So Mike,
what are those things called? Like bumpers and stuff.
Yeah.
Like.
And I have been crazy. Give me a second. Go ahead and say do your game, Mike, and I'm gonna try and think of the two things that I need to think of.
Okay. All right. So I decided, just as a chance for us to all get a chance to know each other better, we are going to play Two Truths and a Lie.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone will go around the horn, and everyone will give two facts about themselves and one lie, and we will go through them all. And then we'll go around, and each person will talk, and we'll vote on which one we think is the lie from each person. Okay? So John, you are our guest.
All right.
And I will just basically, as far as we know, you are telling us that all three of these are facts.
Oh yeah, you can trust me. Just look at my honest face. There you go. I'm a teacher. Would I lie?
I don't know. Do you teach? What is that thing called?
I'm a science teacher.
At a Catholic school or?
No.
Oh. Okay, we're good. Can you tell me one thing that maybe could be construed as a truth about you?
Let's see. I haven't had a chance to talk too much to Pete about it, but I am actually a fairly accomplished musician. So.
Music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something else?
Kind of like music. Let's see. Another thing about me, I once rode a motorcycle from Baltimore to Seattle.
Wow.
Was that a motorcycle or a unicycle?
A motorcycle. Motorcycle.
Motor.
Yeah, it took about a week.
Cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cross country.
Right, absolutely.
Cross country.
Mm-hmm.
And numero 3.
Number 3 is that I was once an invited guest at an anime convention.
Bullshit. No. You know nothing about anime.
What is this anime? I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So there you go. And one of these statements may not be true.
One of these statements is not like the other. Okay,
Right.
Peter.
All right, so I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, so my first fact about me is I have stopped wearing underwear.
Tell us something we don't know. Stopped wiping his ass.
No, I still do that. I have stopped wearing underwear.
Wipes his ass even more. Okay, next.
Peanut butter and mayonnaise is one of my favorite sandwiches.
Peanut butter plus mayonnaise. Yes, you are white.
Yes. I think we've established that. Yes.
Tragically, pathetically, and disgustingly white.
Hey, wait
Next.
a minute.
You gotta do the Cabbage Patch.
Oh, wait a minute. Something
All
like
right,
that.
just give us
Sorry,
your third.
sorry.
one.
Okay, so the third one is I have never seen Top Gun or Rocky,
Okay.
as in both of them.
Not like together, you mean like
No, not
individually.
together, but I've never seen either one of those two movies.
Okay.
Brian. Brian, would you care to enlighten us with possibly something that would be falsified? Truth, something real.
Ideally, something that doesn't involve lack of underwear and mayonnaise in the same sentence.
Yeah. Please. or if you would like, I wouldn't
Oh
mind.
man,
If you get a little hot, you could take your shirt off. Mm?
I don't think anyone would appreciate that.
That'll be all right.
Easy, Herbert the pervert. Besides, I won't do anything because there's like another layer of fabric under here, if you know what I mean. I'm European after all.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey,
you know, with
hey.
with us all, we might want to have who's the hairiest one of all.
Okay, I once did a panel at a convention with John Smar, right? And, you know, I got there early, and John Smar was like in the middle of the table, and he sort of looked up and down the table and said, it goes from hairiest to least hairy, because I was on one end, and we had a bald guy on the other end. You know, John was kind of in the middle. It was fun.
All right, so first fact, I am a film student, getting my major in film, TV, radio. Second fact, I am also a trained method actor. And thirdly, the first time I ever got lucky was in a stalled elevator.
Ooh.
which led to the method acting.
And he filmed it, so it all sort of ties together.
Right, it
Wait.
does.
Yeah, hey, it's the new movie.
Okay, so that's your first fact.
Brian said, "Hey, wait, let me take a selfie."
Yeah, when you say, was it got lucky in an elevator? Was it with yourself or
No,
selfie?
You mean with a woman?
With a woman.
Well, a significant other. We don't want to pigeonhole the guy.
Is that what it's called?
I see what you did there. Okay, Mike. It's so funny because I thought I'll go musician. No one ever goes musician on anybody. Unless you're in an elevator. Anyway, I was in a jazz band for 2 years. Jazz band. 2 years. Number 2, I once held a man as he died in my arms. And no, it was not, what is that song? Just died in your arms tonight.
Oh God.
In my arms. And the third thing is that the biggest and most expensive thing I ever stole.
Was a whale penis? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, those are priceless. Anyway, can't put a price on that.
I bet you can.
Shut up. The most expensive thing I ever stole was this monitor from an old job. The monitor that I am actually looking at you guys at right now, I stole from a previous job.
Okay,
But
so you
it's
stole
been
the
at
monitor.
least 7 years because it wasn't at the statute of limitations. Okay, never mind. So what now? Yeah, stole. Most expensive thing I ever stole was this monitor I am using currently.
Okay.
It's a 22-inch.
Now, is it like a CRT?
It's a 22-inch whale penis. No, what?
Is it a CRT?
I'm not going to tell you. It is a monitor.
You're embarrassed because it's CRT, isn't it?
So,
It weighs like 6,000 pounds.
here's how we were going to do this, okay?
Yes.
Now we're going to go back and I'm going to reiterate these. And we will vote. Each of us will get a vote as to whether each of these are actually true or not, okay?
My Google, it doesn't like your picture, son. All right, so go ahead.
Your Google doesn't like my picture?
Yeah, try and click. I think your picture's frozen up, but your voice is coming through, so it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Whale penis. Okay, so John, he was a musical kind of a guy. You were in a band for, what was it?
Actually, I wasn't in a band. I just said that I'm an accomplished musician, so I
Accomplished.
play. I haven't been in a
Okay.
band.
You play with your okay, so
Yes,
he
yes, something like that. Yes.
didn't quite mention the instrument that he plays. So
You did not.
Guitar.
Guitar. Huh?
Oh, now you want to grace us with what it is you play. Is that what you're calling it these days?
Yeah.
So he rode a motorcycle from Seattle to.
Well, hold on. I'm going to vote yes that he is an accomplished or a musician.
Oh, that's how we're doing this? Okay.
Yes. So I'm voting yes. Pete?
I think that's a yes.
Okay. Brian, are you voting yes on this?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go next one. So that you motorcycled across country. I am going to go with.
Wait, real quick, what was the third option?
Invited guest at an anime
Okay,
convention.
got it. All right.
All right, so I'm basically I'm gonna vote no. I'm not putting my chip down on motorcycle, so you don't get that vote from me. I am. So is that Pete?
Yeah, why don't we just do that, Mike? Why don't we just do whatever you think the story isn't? Read all three, and then whatever you think the story isn't.
That's fine. But
Okay.
it's okay. So motorcycled across country. Anyone think it is not?
I don't think it's not either.
Not.
I'm gonna say
that's-
not.
Not, and not. Okay. That means that you have three. Or so we have all voted. No, do not reveal yet. We have all voted that you did not motorcycle across the country.
Okay.
Oh God, Peter stopped wearing underwear.
Oh, wait a minute. What about the anime thing?
Oh yeah, no. So yeah, we all voted. If we well by a process of elimination.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So back to Peter's underwear. I'm gonna say that
Just read all three first.
okay, stopped wearing underwear. Peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwiches.
One of my favorites.
Is loved to be eaten and never saw Top Gun or Rocky.
I'm kind of afraid to vote for the underwear thing for fear that he might actually show us.
You don't have to worry about that. I will not be revealing.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'll be banned from YouTube.
Right, you'll just have to take my word for it.
Okay.
We're off of YouTube and off to RedTube.
Right. Oh, yeah.
God,
Hey, that is an option. I never even thought of that. No, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, fuck.
Sorry. No, it's not an option.
John, what are you picking? You're picking his.
Okay, so the three options are that the underwear thing, the peanut butter and mayonnaise, and what was the third?
Never saw Top Gun or Rocky.
I'm going to go for the peanut butter and mayonnaise thing as not being the true one.
Okay, so you are voting for stopped wearing underwear, and you are voting for never saw that.
Right.
So, okay, I am going to vote for the falsification is that you have seen one of those movies, because I know you're sick fuck. You love that mayonnaise peanut butter crap. and
You do you?
You stop wearing underwear is just, yeah, speaking of doo-doo, yeah, that's just totally possible. So, okay. And Brian?
I'm going to call bullshit on not seeing Top Gun or Rocky.
Okay, so you're with me.
Yeah, because it's classics, man. Cut me, Mick.
All right. So the votes go for you in favor of you not seeing Rocky or Top Gun.
Okay.
Brian, you're a film student. You're a trained method actor, and you stooped in a stalled elevator. I'll just go first. I'm saying that you are not a trained method actor because you, I think, are going for some other type of methodical thing. Plus, you're in school, so you can't be all trained and schooled at the simultaneous time. So that's me.
Okay. I'm going to say got lucky in a stalled elevator. I'm not going to say that you haven't gotten lucky, but I'm going to say it's not a stalled elevator. Because I'm hearkening back to Chandler, and I'm getting a... I know that wasn't a stalled elevator. That was in a bank or something, and he almost did and did, but I don't know. That's the one I'm going with.
The boy goes to a lot of cons. Anyway, go ahead.
I could be wrong.
Hey, I'm gonna go with you, Mike, and go for the method acting thing.
Okay, so you agree that he is not a trained method actor, so that he did shtup.
Although he may believe that he is, so you
right.
never know.
Okay. Now me. So I can't vote for myself. I will rely on you guys.
Of course.
That I was in a jazz band for 2 years, or that I did hold a guy as he died in my... Now I can't even say it right. As he died in my arms. A guy died in my arms. Or that the 22-inch monitor that I'm staring at you clowns in right now is the one that I stole from a job 7 years ago.
Being that I know you best, I'm going to go last.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to vote for the jazz band thing. I don't think you're in a jazz band.
Okie dokie. So that's a 1 vote dead guy, 1 vote monitor. Gotcha. Brian.
I'm gonna go call bullshit on the dead man.
All right. 1 vote monitor, 1 vote jazz band.
No,
Peter.
dead man. He said dead man.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So he's voting against them.
I got you. I follow what you're saying. All right, so I know Mike plays an instrument. That much I do know. He was in a band called Slam Chicken, which wasn't really a band because there was no music that we ever really made other than You're shocking me. But,
And it wasn't jazz, but okay.
That was not jazz. I did get jazzed, but I'm the Hell to Dying Man. I can see that you work in deaf addictions, so I could see that as possible. You could have been in a hospital when some dude died. And for some reason, maybe you felt compelled to hold him, but stole the monitor.
Come here, Strange Man.
What?
Come here, Strange Man. These hands.
These hands hold dead bodies. I could not save him.
I hate you guys. So what are you voting for?
I'm gonna say jazz band is the fake.
Jazz band is the fake. So
I'm gonna say you were in a school band, but it wasn't a jazz band.
One vote, Dead Man. One vote, Monitor. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So we're gonna go back to the top. Johnny boy,
Yes.
Mr. Open Road. I
Mhm.
know you. You're short. Do they make motorcycles that small for you?
Well, actually, they do, but you got to get the right one. Yeah. With that one, I was with my dad, and he's shorter than I am, so he actually had to get a smaller bike, so both feet would touch the ground at the same time. But I did actually go from Baltimore to Seattle on a motorcycle.
Damn it. Okay.
Darn it. You foiled us again, mad scientist.
Which one was the fake, John?
The fake was the musician thing. I couldn't play an instrument to save my life.
Awesome.
Come on, you have a beard. You got like a big frurly beard. That's like one of the. You have to be able to play the guitar to have a beard that long, right?
On the other hand, that means like the anime con thing was true. So
Yes.
it's frightening.
And it was what is that freaking thing in Baltimore, right? What was that? It's was
It wasn't at Otakon. It was
Otakon,
actually at one up in Pennsylvania called Zenkai Con.
Okay.
And they were doing like their theme for the con was mad scientists. So
Wow, there you go.
Ah.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, musical
Hey, stumped
guy.
us.
You stumped us. And we weren't in an elevator.
but
so
not in
there we go.
an elevator.
All right, so basically, John is in the lead with 3 points because he stole all 3 points from us. We voted in, so that's how I'm doing this. Okay.
Bastard.
Peter,
Yes.
how you doing there? How you doing there in that underwear you're wearing right now?
I'm wearing it.
Really?
That was the fake.
Ah. See,
I stopped wearing boxers years ago. I went back into
See,
boxer
I thought it was
briefs.
gonna be something technical like that. I'm like, damn it.
No, I
And
wear
again,
underwear.
I was just scared to vote for it. So you know.
all right. Well, so who do you guys remember who voted for Pete's stopped wearing underwear?
Nobody did.
No, well you have.
I know I did not.
Okay. All right. So he took that.
I stopped ya with my underwear.
So he and I are tied.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's true. No, I've never seen Top Gun or Rocky. Either one of them.
You got some Netflix homework, son.
I know. I keep saying. Damn, people keep talking about these movies. I've never seen them.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
What?
So you have or have not seen,
Have not.
and you are wearing underwear.
That is correct.
Okay. Just so you know what this game was called, one more time. 2 truths and a lie.
Right. 2 truths and a lie. Peanut butter mayonnaise is one of my favorite sandwiches, and I have never seen Top Gun or Rocky. Those are the 2 truths.
Sorry.
Lie.
I got all messed up. Sorry.
The lie is the underwear.
I thought you just said you did see them. All right.
No.
Never mind. All right. That means, okay. So, Brian, film student.
That is true. That is my major, so I am a film student.
Okay. And trained method actor.
That is true.
Ooh.
Completed some workshops, got some acting I did a lot of workshops, and technically it's funny, with acting that actually counts. That's a fun little tidbit. Workshops actually count. It's something you can put on your acting resume.
You stepped in an elevator?
Not in an elevator. That was the false
An
one.
escalator?
Stalled escalator. That's called stairs. You stooped on the stairs. Or as Mitch Hedberg would say, thank you for not working.
It's like, come on, baby, let's go up the stairways to the Pantheon.
Or what was it? No, it was. Oh, right. It was. Thank you for your convenience.
Oh yeah, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so Brian, let's see.
So where was that stuppin'?
1, 2, 3, 4.
It was in a hotel room.
Oh.
Like Mike said, I did go to a lot of cons.
Ah, yes.
Well, you had to get on an elevator. You were in your. Never mind. All right. Well, that's okay because you have a pardon the pun. You have a spread for your trues. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so Mike. Mike has a spread too, which is not good. I was in a jazz band for 2 years in high school.
Son of a bitch! That was a jazz band.
Yes.
Damn it.
Not in high. I'm sorry, middle school. It was middle school. 2 years of jazz band.
Oh, you dick!
2
That's
years
right.
jazz
Yeah. Were you in the poly
Trumpet.
band?
I was in the poly band as well.
Right, and that was not a jazz band. I wasn't.
Right.
Oh, you got me by knowing you. See, it didn't work in my favor.
I know.
Damn it.
All right, so that is a point for me. A man died in my arms. That is true. I was actually I worked at an ice rink. I was a guard, and a guy fell on and hit the back of his head really bad. And then we called 911, and I was the one who was like there responding to him and trying to keep him calm and hold him. And he basically couldn't see, and I'm holding the back of his head, and he's bleeding, and it's like he died before the ambulance came. It was kind of surreal.
Damn, you could die in an ice rink. Holy shit! He was
Yeah.
just skating around, right? Not.
I knew there was a reason I didn't skate.
Hey, folks. Hey, John. Science question: is ice hard?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
Apparently, kills
I
people.
have had people try to take me skating, and I explain to them that I teach physics and biology, so I can know exactly how hard I'll hit and exactly what I break when I land, so I don't deal with the skate thing.
Right, okay.
Dihydrogen oxide in its solid form is one of the most deadly ways to die.
Oh God.
Yep.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4.
So I meant, so you did not steal the monitor.
No, did not steal the monitor.
I should have guessed that because you wouldn't admit that on air. I mean, that's.
I said.
Is it a CRT?
No, it's not. It's a flat
Okay.
screen. I've had it for 5 years.
Okay.
I didn't. Okay, so here's how this works. Because John completely bamboozled everyone. He got all the votes outside of his falsity. He got 6 points total. Peter got 5 points. Brian got 4, and I got 4.
John,
So-
you're the winner.
Hey, all right, let's hear it for science.
Yay, you get all the internets.
Yay!
You get a brand new guitar, which you better learn how to play.
And a stolen monitor, so what the hell.
That's right.
Woo!
And
You get a brand new
to have
guitar.
sex.
You get to keep it if you can play 3 chords. Oh, sorry.
All right.
You get to have sex with somebody
In an
in
elevator.
an elevator
In an elevator while playing guitar.
But you can't wear any underwear.
with no underwear.
Right.
And your only sustenance is a peanut butter.
Do I have to eat the mayonnaise and peanut butter and peanut butter thing? Yeah.
Off of the guitar.
Oh, wow.
Okay, moving right along.
Oh, my God. Hey, Mike.
You eat that peanut butter mayonnaise, you'll be moving right along.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's good. It's good, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's not as good as peanut butter and bacon, but it's pretty good.
I'll eat some peanut butter and bacon.
You have to fry it like a grilled cheese sandwich with butter. Oh, it's delicious.
Brian,
Welcome to America.
got any news for us?
Yeah, Brian. How's
got-
the news?
I got some stuffs. Some stuffs.
You hanging in there? John? You okay to stick around
Yep.
for us with us?
Oh,
All right,
absolutely.
cool. You having a good time?
So far, so good.
Okay, so check
I
this
haven't been
out.
run off with pitchforks and torches yet, so
So that's always a plus.
It's always a plus.
So, speaking of torching, Honda just came out with a new lawnmower, and it set the record for the fastest lawnmower They're just code calling it the mean mower, and it held the record for 116 miles per hour. That's a fast lawnmower, son.
Yeah, okay.
Wait a minute. Why? Why?
Because it was there.
Because they can.
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. I don't know. Cut the grass on the football field before showtime. I don't know.
The holder of the previous record was just like a goat with a rocket strapped to him. So,
And
for those
wait
of
a
you who
minute.
haven't seen the MythBusters episode.
No. And next week, Adrian's going to become the fastest illegal on the planet.
The real Speedy Gonzalez.
No, I'm just kidding. Adrian's not an illegal. But he is an alien. Anyway, so
he's alien to us.
right. So
man.
100 did you say 116? 116
106 miles per hour.
Would you want to go 116 miles per hour on somebody's lawn? I mean, I can't think of a lawn I'd want to do that on.
I mean, this thing, man, it's just amazing how something, because the engine can put out 109 horsepower. It's got 71 pound feet of torque.
Right.
So I'm and I'm looking at it. It looks like, here, I'll screen share real quick. I'm just looking at it. It just looks like just a run-of-the-mill lawnmower, but as soon as you turn on,
No, it
it's
does
a
not look
racing
like a
lawnmower.
run-of-the-mill lawnmower. A run-of-the-mill lawnmower does not have somebody with a helmet riding it.
no, but the lawnmower itself, it's a ride mower. I mean,
Got it.
I got to tell you, I have a German Shepherd, so if he were to do my backyard at 116 miles per hour, I can imagine some high-flying, high-speed dog turds. I mean, it might
like
knock
a
somebody
Wally
out.
Thank you for sharing that mental picture.
Ooh, I don't want to empty that bag.
oh man.
All right.
Lawnmower colostomy bag.
Oh man. Dear Lord.
Shepherd's hope. All right.
Okay, so the
what's
next
next?
one. So the next one, Google recently just purchased Titan Aerospace. It's a company that has built solar-powered drones.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because there has been some talk that Facebook was actually going to acquire the company, but it looks like Google kind of beat them to the punch, like they do with every company these days, which is actually kind of scary. I sincerely believe Google is Skynet.
They are. This is like
Actually,
the stories
on
keep
that,
coming out.
That solar plane that you showed the picture of, that's actually not a drone. That one is manned, because I just gave my students an article on it. It's got a pilot on board, and they're going for the world record for the longest time in air. It's solar powered, and again, this is actually the second one that they've done. They're trying to fly it around the world.
Oh, so there's a cockpit. This is like big. We're not, it's not doing justice for the size.
That thing has the wingspan of a jumbo jet.
But imagine,
It's
wait a minute.
big.
But imagine you take that solar technology and put it on drones. That way, oh my God, dude. Okay,
You
so
never have to bring them down.
so
Well,
have you
the
ever
thing is, that's what this company is known for. Titan Aerospace is a New Mexico-based company that's what they do. They build solar-powered drones, and then they started kind of upgrading, as you will, to manned vehicles. So it's kind of interesting to see what Google's going to try and do with that.
So I've seen, I saw this movie a number of years ago. It was a shitty B movie. It had Stephen Baldwin in it. And it was basically like a surrogate movie. So instead of like going to another city, you would inhabit this clone body. But it was a biological instead of like a robot. So you would maybe it was Transference. Maybe it was I don't know. I can't remember anyway.
So you saw that, but not Top Gun, is what you're telling us.
That is correct. You are correct.
That's how you spend your time. Got it.
That is correct. So so anyway, so he goes into this body and he's in this other place and something happens and of course drama, killing and stuff. But what was interesting about it, one of the really cool things that they actually had in the movie, even though it was a really shitty B movie, was they had these drones that they would launch and the drone would just stay up in the air for like days and just wait. And the second that you revealed yourself, as soon as they found you, because what they would do is they launch this thing and they put your code in it, and this thing would just fly around the city waiting. And the second that the second you became detectable, which is what happened to him, he wound up becoming detectable. Without getting into it, it's something about a badge he had to wear or whatever. But as soon as he became detectable, the drone would fly into the person and explode.
Mhm.
And that's what this thing could be with these solar things. You could put a drone
Pretty
up,
much, yep.
and that motherfucker would stay up there. And if it had seawater, it
There you go. Between that and the seawater thing, I mean, you
So
know,
just a
maybe
word of
difference,
warning,
so
guys.
maybe
Pay your
can.
Google Play bill.
yeah, no shit.
Hey, whatever you
Google
do,
has been
man.
acquiring robots,
Yeah.
robot companies like crazy.
Robotics, drones. They've been.
Yeah.
Again, we gotta have a whole episode just covering Google monopolizing robotics and engineering companies and firms and.
And you know what the excuse is though, right? You know what they're saying that's for. They're saying that's for their Google Maps. So they want to be able to send
Right.
robots out to
Yeah.
keep the Google Maps up to date.
Keep it current and up to date, yeah, because
Right.
Google Maps, it's still a very reliable system. But
I'm not totally buying that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Conspiracy.
All right, I was gonna say, let's get our tinfoil hats on, children.
Yeah,
Right.
I
It's-
forgot to
it's-
make my tinfoil hat again.
it's
sorry.
Skynet. It's Skynet.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I'm kidding. All right, next story. I'm just bullshitting you.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
could
so-
be up. You could be up there all day, Pete. You'd never have to take your underwear off again.
Awesome. Just supply me with unlimited peanut butter and mayonnaise, and we're in.
Oh.
Yeah, so I got one last thing, and I just thought this was kind of cool. A group of engineers actually built a paper airplane folding and launching machine. I just thought I don't know if you can see the GIF really well, but
Yeah,
you
we
can.
can.
It just simultaneously
Yeah.
folds it, preps it, and then just launches it, and it goes right into the receiver next door. And I just thought, that's just some great old-fashioned what-if engineering. Like, let's try and do this.
That
See,
is a
that's the
Rube
kind of
Goldberg.
engineering I wanted to be involved in. Let's make something pointless and awesome. Like the more pointless, i.e., a paper airplane folding machine. I mean, the intricacy and the engineering that went into that. If you could see that, it's just amazing. Just to fold on a paper airplane and launch it. That's the job I want.
I could see that replacing the mail guy in business offices.
Folded paper drones. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, Google's
Oh,
gonna acquire
Paper
this fucking
solar
thing.
trail. It all ties together. And here's the real facade. I'm actually a Google agent.
John,
Wait
John,
till
you just-
Google buys that
You
thing.
just tied that up nice and neat in a bow for us. Thank you.
The new Google Docs system.
That would be the book
Oh,
after the Babbage thing.
Gmail. It's just Gmail right there.
Gmail.
They put a little thing on it as it comes through your window. Bing! You've got mail.
It just sticks you right in the eye. Just ah!
And I
awesome.
thought today when I
That's
was
my paper cut, man.
I got on Google and I saw that the good people at Google had nothing better to do today but design a Google Doodle special for me.
Nice.
It was a birthday cake. They said Google on it, and it was like they made
Just
it
for
me.
you. Just
Yes,
for you.
it even said "Happy Birthday, Mike" on it.
Right. No automation there whatsoever.
There.
Well, I'm sorry, they didn't have time to make a paper airplane machine for me. But come on, me, Happy Birthday, Mike. Google Doodle. Where's your Google Doodle, Pete?
It's in my underwear.
No. Never mind. Carry on. Brian, anything else?
So just one last thing. It's actually just some movie-related news. It looks like David Fincher dropped out of the Steve Jobs movie. That's still been rehashed, rewritten a whole bunch of times, and he even said, Fincher said he wouldn't really want to make the film unless Christian Bale would star in it. Can you imagine Christian Bale as Steve Jobs?
It's
It.
We're gonna put that button. We're gonna put that button.
Here's Lisa.
Oh my god.
I'm Siri.
Oh shit.
Oh God! All right, I got two more things that we need to do before we quit. First of all, Pete.
Yeah.
Right before the show, you promised me a rant. I did not get a rant.
Okay. All right. So, for the rant, the reason why the show was late was because we had tech issues, but those were tech issues that I knew we might have that wouldn't have made us late if I had gotten home in time to do a sound check to deal with it, because I screw with my sound. I had a soundboard working. Everything was great. What I didn't know is what it would be like with other people in the Hangout, because I haven't had time to do that. So we went out for Passover dinner. My wife is Jewish, and
Mazel tov.
oh, thank you. So we did Passover dinner, and there was the whole, oh my God, we read like almost the whole book with the Seder and the bone and the egg and all
What's
that stuff.
this rock for?
Yeah, right. And then we have to eat all that horrible shit that they pass around because they want to be miserable. I don't know what it is. No, dude, they give you like, you gotta eat a sprig of parsley, and then you gotta eat this fucking gross. And they don't even like it. Like the relatives, they don't like it. They just eat it because it's tradition. And I'm just like, really? Do you eat this? But that's not really what I'm complaining about.
Have you tried putting it with like peanut butter and mayonnaise? And,
I would have totally done that. Gefilte fish between some peanut butter and mayonnaise.
there you go, man.
There you got a sandwich.
When the gefilte fish is just like the mutton and the.
But I'm not complaining about the ceremony. That's fine. That's
not what pissed you off. What pissed you off?
What pissed me off is my wife knows that every Monday night at 9:30 there's this show. Now I might have even said, "Hey guys, let's go a little late," because I got to do the Passover thing. But any other time, any other occasion, it's no. We have to leave. We have to get London home and get her into bed. We have to get home. We have to. No, we can't. No, let's go. Let's go now. Let's go. Right? But when we're with mommy, all bets are off. Everything changes. So. That's why I was late, because I'm in the car. I'm just like, really? It's like any other time. I didn't even think we'd be late because we had to get London home.
Inconceivable.
Right, there we go. So yeah, that there's my rant. That's it. It's not a big rant, but it was.
I was
a little mini more.
It explains why the show was late.
That's it, man. Game over, man.
All right, Mike. What's the second thing? Michael?
The second thing is I'm dead.
Mr. Cafis? Mr. Cafis? Was that game over?
The drones got him.
I think Google.
Sorry, that was my bad. When they said don't push the button, they mean it.
So, what are we going to do with this computer getting hot, and it's getting hotter in this room in the summertime? What are we going to do with this freaking thing?
Put a fan under it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. Sorry.
Yeah, because your picture's totally frozen, right? You've been frozen for a while.
Oh, that didn't pan out.
See, I need to get my soundboard working. Okay. All right, Mr. Sound Guy. What was the second thing?
Hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
He's just going to go through all of them.
Jealous much?
I am. Well, at least we have one. Why haven't you been using it?
I don't know.
All right. Well,
Because
next show.
You guys are retarded.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so look, what was the second thing, Mike? Was that it, the soundboard that you got working?
I think that was it. Was that,
You said there were two things.
Yeah, I thought there was something else, but my brain is dying, and I was hot in this room, and it's sweating underneath his hat.
Right. You got to take your underwear off and rub some
And it's his
mayonnaise.
birthday, so you know what the
Right,
hell.
right.
It's his party. He can cry if he wants to.
Hey, let's wrap this thing up. Daddy's got a present waiting for me in the bedroom. All right.
Oh, Daddy has a present. Okay. Is it a whale dong?
It's a whale penis.
It's a whale penis?
Nope. I'm not even gonna say a whale mouth. I'm gonna say a whale.
All right, hold on.
Mouth. What?
That's it. No, we got to do it.
What?
Give me a second here. We've been talking about this and talking about this and talking about this. We can't just let this go.
What?
Give me a second. Give me 1 second here. Okay.
Oh, I forgot it was the movie draft. That's what the other thing was supposed to be.
Oh, okay. All right.
Ah, stupid me.
All right. So hold on. I'm gonna do something real quick here.
All right, I'll pull up the movie draft while we're doing that.
All right. I'm gonna do.
I'll pull up the movie draft.
How do I do this? This one? Okay. All right. Can you see this?
Yep.
So there.
Shit's sake.
And they had to name it Clifford, didn't they?
Yes. It's Clifford. Clifford the dog.
The big red dog. Got it.
And then wait. Here's the other one. This is what we've been talking about. You can actually buy these. So this is the Trojan horse.
So this is what you were having handmade? Is this it?
No, this is not what I was having handmade, but this is what we've been talking about. A friend of mine sent this as a link. I'm like, what the heck? And then wait.
Thanks, Jonathan.
And here's the last
That
one.
was Jonathan Reinhardt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's the difference between those kind of things? Because God, okay. The reason this thing is kind of like this is giving me some very weird memories of weird stories I've heard from my other circle of friends. I mean, there's another shop, all right, that sells pretty much exactly those products. It's called Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon. Oh, okay.
I'll give you a little bit of a hint. Some of the products, like one of the products, is actually called the Bruiser.
Oh.
I think I like that very much.
That's where I'm going to leave it at that. There's a website called Bad Dragon. You can buy pretty much those items, and one of them is called the Bruiser.
What? Okay, hold on. Wait.
If you needed a sponsor for the show, you could.
We should. That would be a good sponsor. I'm not done yet. Hold on. I got one more.
Brought to you by the Bruiser.
Brought to you by Doc Johnson's Belladonna's Magic Hand.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Whoa!
Oh, God.
Okay, so that reminds me of a joke. You guys have heard of, like, the how's it go, the teaser, the pleaser, the shocker.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it the rocker? Okay. Well, you ever heard of the minivan?
Oh, God.
Minivan. Two in the front and 5 in the rear.
Oh, hey, there's an element. Hey, no. Look for changing the payphone. Look for changing the payphone, man. Nanu. Come on, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
The Mork from work. That's funny. Snoo. All right. All right, Mike, was there anything else before we completely get in the toilet?
Yes.
Okay.
What? I'm trying to get us out of the toilet.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. You had a movie draft. Sorry.
Yes, the 2014 summer movie draft. This is our weekly summer cinema standings. So basically, for the week of, and I will always give these on the week of like this April the 14th on Monday. MythWit. Actually, you know what? Until Adrian not pleases, but until Adrian hooks up Devon and changes the name of the team, they are going to be known as Team Short Bus until they change the name.
Until they fix it.
He wants to be called something else. What is it? Team something. But
Deadpool
anyway.
or something like
Yeah,
that.
Deadpool. And you know what? They can be Team Deadpool. But until then, Team Short Bus is in the lead with $168,666,635. Captain America opened last week, and Draft Day opened this past weekend. And they're looking at Amazing Spider-Man opening, next week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So they are in first place. 14 Degrees North, Team 14 Degrees North, is in second place with 327,869 for second place with Rio 2 opening.
Not much hope on that one, dude. I saw Rio 2, and wasn't a lot of people to theater, and I think it's going to have a short run. Wasn't real good.
It actually almost beat Captain America for like a weekly box office kind of thing. It was
Really?
like Mike and I were talking about it earlier. I guess since we're on the subject of the draft, I guess we can kind of talk about how do you think things are going to change within the next few weeks, since some of us aren't even in the game yet until our movies come out in like May or June.
Right.
You know, what are your thoughts, Pete?
Well, okay. So I think Captain America is going to taper off. I think it's made the money it's going to make. I don't think we're going to see a whole lot more coming out of Captain America. I mean, and that's pretty obvious. I mean, it's been out for a couple weeks now.
Let me screen share this for you, just so everyone can get an idea of what we're going to look at each week. And
dude, I don't know if I can. I don't know if you can screen share. You are not coming in.
No.
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 No, you are. Nope. Your picture froze a while back.
It should be unfrozen now.
It's. I'm afraid it's not. All right. So anyway, moving on.
Well,
I don't see Rio.
what if you try switching? Because
What am I switching to?
Switch it back and forth between me and someone else and back. Sometimes that helps on your end.
Okay. So to you, and now your picture comes up with your drink in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Then I go to John, and you go back to being frozen. And then, let's see.
Oh, that sucks. All right, never mind.
Yeah, you're frozen again.
Stupid frozen ass.
All right.
Well, go to the MythWits. Go to the MythWits page, and there's a link. You can see where.
Where would I
there's
find
graphs.
this?
There's graphs. Go to our Facebook page, and there's a link there. You can check out. You can also go to.
I got it. Wait a minute. Dude, one thing at a time. I'll just go here. I'm already there. So, come on. So this thing here, right? Right.
Yes.
How do I get that as the big picture? Is there somewhere I can log in?
Well, you can go to boxofficedraft.com/league/MythWits.
Whoa, I can't type that fast.
Hold on.
Boxofficedraft.com.
I'll do it, because I just got it up.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Like, well, I got the listing. I don't have the graph, but I have the current list from the website. So let me screen share that. Okay, so here's the current scores at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, it looks like to me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's only going to be two movies that are going to keep them in this game, and that's going to be obviously The Winter Soldier, because that gave them a huge boost. That's why they're in first place, and then The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, that's. I think they're going to make a shit. They may win this game with those two movies combined.
I don't know, man.
I'll just say may. I don't know. Mike, you got X-Men and Transformers, and I know you don't have any faith in the Transformers, but I bet you that dumbass movie is going to pull in a lot of bank.
It might. And TMNT is probably going to just...
That'll pull in some money.
It might rocket me. Brian and I were talking about this earlier. It might rocket me into second place, maybe.
I think that's a good, strong... It's good and strong. Godzilla? A lot of good marketing on Godzilla.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Something's coming in a couple
weeks. The previews on that look great.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll cover this more next week. But, if it's not on the... I'm looking here, and maybe I didn't post the actual movie link or the website link. I will post it on our Facebook site right now. But basically, you will be able to go to boxofficedraft.com, and you can find us, or go to our Facebook site, and you can find it. You can track us, and I'll be doing the weekly reports every week. And
wait a minute, the weekly reports every week?
Yes, weekly reports.
Every week?
Every week.
Okay.
Every week.
Just making sure. But those are weekly reports.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you did them every day, they would.
Okay.
Do I have to reiterate myself?
I'm just gonna end. Let's just end the subject and about the draft, and I'm gonna end it with this, if it'll play.
All right.
Hold up. Wait for it. Give it a second. Y'all can hear this, right?
Yeah.
Something's coming in a couple weeks, and I think this will be my ticket to the top.
Nice.
There you go.
Suck it.
Yeah. my strategy was I got Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think is going to be the summer ender movie. So I think that's gonna be people's last their last hurrah that they're gonna go out on the summer with, and they're all gonna want to go see it because it's sort of like end of summer break, and I think Marvel's gonna really ratchet up the marketing for that, and the fact that I have 5 movies. I'm one of the few people that has 5.
Yeah.
So kind of hoping that'll work in my favor, because I know I got some turds on there, but I'm kind of hoping that those turds will add up.
Right. So and in third place is the rest of us.
It's the rest of us.
Me, Pete, Brian, Ian, my son. We're all in
0 place.
We're all tied for third.
Right. Tied for turd. Brian, are you drawing something, Brian?
I'm actually writing some notes for next week's show.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, well then let's wrap it up. All right, so
let's put this thing to bed.
Let's put the baby to bed. All right, so John Monahan is going to be our official go-to science guy. Hopefully, we'll bring you back on a couple more times this year before it ends out.
Especially if come back.
Especially if something big sciencey happens.
Yep.
You know, that'd be nice. Hey,
or if we need to do a duet on the guitar, I hear we can bring
there you go.
Right,
Could play something jazzy, you know. It'd be fun.
The new Art and Garfunkel.
Check all the links on the site. You know, madforscienceblog.wordpress.com. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, catch them on the Dan Rodricks show. Second Monday of the month.
Second Monday of the month, from 1 to 2.
1 to 2, and that's whatever your NPR station is.
Right.
If they carry that show, does everybody carry it?
If you can't listen to it, they podcast it if you go to the show's webpage.
Right, absolutely.
Sounds
and
good.
then, of course, They Called Me Mad. You can find it on Amazon, and the link, of course, is on our page. And real quick, John,
Yeah.
Jenny McCarthy says she never said she was anti-vax.
I heard that. You know, she's trying to backpedal and say, oh, no, I wasn't anti-vaccine. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Right. She would never do that. I mean,
oh, no.
Because her kid had autism, didn't have autism, and then she cured him, but she didn't cure him because he never had.
Right.
I know you would never say such a thing like this, but I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm just going to call her a stupid cunt, because that's how I feel about her. But those are my.
This would be the second rant, right?
This would be the second rant. Yeah. But
now we're getting warmed up.
And that's just my opinion. So.
Yeah. Actually, if you go back a bit, I've got a post.
John, you're roboting something fierce.
Science blog.
Google's trying to shut us down.
Vaccines and the whole anti-vaccine thing. It's called anti-vaccine.
Oh, hold on, John.
What? It's called what?
What is it called? Hold on. All right. So, wait a minute, John. Try that again. You roboted really terrible.
Try to get
you
roboted the anti-vax. The anti-vax is
there's an anti-vaccine entry on the Mad for Science blog. The entry is called "Anti-Vaccine Suckers."
Okay.
So you can check that out. It's
awesome.
Back a couple of months, but you can find it.
All right,
guys. We're gonna call it closing. Just give me a second here while I run the show closer, and then we'll end the show.
You've just enjoyed the MythWits. Join us for a live broadcast next week and every week, Mondays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you miss our live show, you can always catch the encore episodes and the podcast version at our website and on iTunes. Make sure to check out our website at mythwits.com, and of course visit us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and iTunes. MythWits is a Studio187.com production and is protected under an attribution, non-commercial, no derivatives, Creative Commons work. You can download and share it with whoever you like. Just don't change it and don't try to make money with it. Make sure to check out Studio187.com for more cool stuff. See you next week.